Hey, my Cheddar Champions! Welcome to another episode of Kpop, Miles, and Life with Cheese, where we get real, we get random, and we get ridiculously off-topic. Now, today's episode is part of Cheese and Your Bias List, which we would be talking about being a fangirl. So, I'll be sharing with you my fangirl journey, my fangirl experiences, and a few facts and research that I've made or I've done about being a fangirl or being part of a fandom in general. So what are we waiting for? Let's talk about being a fanboy or a fangirl. Now, ano nga ba yung fanboy or fangirl? Now, a fanboy or a fangirl refers to a highly enthusiastic and devoted fan of a particular topic. For example, a celebrity, a boy group, a girl group, an artist, a band, a brand, or even a technology company and their franchises. So, iba-iba siya. Hindi lang siya artista, hindi lang siya boy group, girl group, or something in that particular line. Now, they are often known for their passionate support, and strong loyalty dito sa kanilang mga groups or topics that they support. Sometimes, they often become very protective or defensive of their favorite subject. Now, there are certain characteristics that are very evident when it comes to fanboys and fangirls, no? Pero mamaya natin siya pag-uusapan. For now, let's talk about saan ba nanggaling or ano ba yung history nung salitang fanboy or fangirl or the after the moment itself. Kailan ba siya nag-umpisa? Now, many people think na ngayon na lang nauuso naman yan, yung mga fanboy, fangirl na yan, yung pag-join sa fandom na yan. But after doing research, no, hindi pala siya bago. Ngayon lang siguro siya nauuso or ngayon lang siguro siya mas sumikat. Pero being a fanboy or a fangirl or this culture has already a long history that we can even trace back to the 19th century. So ganun na siya katagal. One of the earliest instances or phenomenon daw na na-prove or naipakita yung fanboy, fangirl culture is with Lithomania, okay? Or Listomania, rather, sorry, which is coined by the German poet Heinrich Heine in the mid-1800s. So, ganun na siya katagal, 1800s. Now, yung word na yon, yung Listomania, ginamit siya to describe an event wherein composer Franz Liszt have a lot of female fans. And itong mga female fans na to, they would swoon over the music of Franz Liszt. That they become highly emotional kapag naririnig yung performances ni Mr. Liszt. And during that time, this behavior, yung fangirling, fanboying behavior, which again, they called Listomania, is treated as some kind of a disorder from the word itself, mania. Okay? And etong reason na to made Liszt as one of the superstars in music history. Kasi siya yung nagpaumpisa talaga nung fanboy, fangirl culture. Actually, particularly fangirls. Kasi puro female yung fans niya nung time na yon. Now, as mentioned, nung time ni Franz Liszt, ang tawag is Listomania. So, wala pa talaga yung term na fangirl. But the term fangirl itself daw appeared as early as 1940 in A.P. Herbert's book, Holy Deadlock, which used to describe young women who were obsessed with musicians. Take note, Si Franz Liszt is a musician. And then the book, dun sa sinulat ni A.P. Herbert, which is Holy Deadlock, ginamit yung term na fangirl to describe young women who are obsessed with musicians. Now, the idea of fandom really gained its fame, yung kasikatan niya, during the Beatles era. So, as early as the Beatles, meron na talagang fans or fandoms na tinatawag. And this phenomenon was called Beatlemania. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that or you've heard of that, but it's real, yung Beatlemania. And this Beatlemania highlighted how passionate female fans could be. So hindi ko sure during that time kung paano ba ina-express ng mga female fans yung kanilang paghanga towards the Beatles, pero kitang-kita siya during the Beatles era. Or Beatles era. Now, since most of their fans are female, this phenomenon has led to gendered stigmatization of young women's enthusiasm, which persists even today. So, pag sinabing big fan, huge fan, obsessed fan, they're just women. Female fans, dun siya nag-start talaga. And lately lang naman, nagkaroon talaga nung halos equal na yung pagtingin between female and male fans. Now, the scrutiny of being a huge fan of something are often directed at female-dominated fandoms such as yung for pop groups or for a particular actor, a particular group, a particular love team. But it contrasts sharply to the societal acceptance of male-dominated fan groups like sports fans, Hindi sila masyadong na-scrutinize for being such a huge fan of basketball, of soccer, or even F1. Pero yung mga female, they are most often scrutinized for liking a particular group, a particular actor, or even a particular hobby. Now, the modern idea of fan communities, or what we call now fandoms, started to take shape more visibly in the mid-20th century with the rise of science fiction fan clubs like Star Trek and Star Wars. So during that time, nung sumisikat yung Star Trek and Star Wars, dumadami na rin yung guys who are entering the fandom or idea of fan communities. Now over time, these communities expanded to include various pop culture icons like Madonna, Michael Jackson, TV shows like Friends, How I Met Your Mother, Grey's Anatomy, or the K-dramas that we know right now. And even musicians, from being local artists to international artists to K-pop to J-pop to P-pop. And both male and female fans are now participating actively. So kumbaga nagiging same na yung level of fandom or yung pagiging fan ng male and female, especially now in the modern times. Now, we already have an idea na yung pagiging fanboy or fangirl pala, hindi siya lately lang nag-umpisa or hindi lang siya lately na uso. No? It's dated way back pa. Noon pa, meron ng fanboy and fangirl cultures. But, ngayon nga, mas evident na siya, mas nakikita na natin yung mga fanboys and fangirls of different topics or different subjects. Na ano ba yung mga certain characteristics or typical characteristics associated with both fanboys and fangirls? Number 1 doon, yung intense passion. Fanboys and fangirls have this intense passion towards their favorite subject. Like, they express that strong admiration and enthusiasm, let's say, for their favorite person, product, or the fandom itself. Okay? Ngayon, parang nauuso yung passion for F1. No, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the passion for anik-aniks, yung those cute stuffed toys or chains that you put in your bag. So, meron silang intense passion with that. Or let's say, their passion in like collecting. Ayan. So, yung mga ganon, no? That's one of their characteristics. Merong intense passion. Another typical characteristic associated with being a fanboy or a fangirl is the defensiveness. Now, sometimes this can be a negative characteristic of fanboys and fangirls because when someone is a huge fan of something or someone per se, they become defensive and even argumentative when faced with criticism or may differing opinions about their interests. And this is also one of the reasons why there are still people who are quite afraid to tell other people that they are fanboys and fangirls of something. Because they know that when someone, no, in particular, nagsabi sa kanila na ay hindi naman sila magaling or hindi ko gusto yung idealism mo, yung group kung ano yung sinusundan mo or yung product na gusto mo. Fanboys and fangirls tend to be defensive. Eh di wag kung ayaw mo. We have those areas wherein we would want to argue na bakit ayaw mo ng ganito, eh mas magaling sila kaysa kay ganito. So, it can be both positive and a negative characteristic, no? We get too defensive when it comes to being a fanboy or a fangirl. We want to defend the things that we like. Now, aside from that, no, medyo negative yung connotation pagdating sa pagiging defensive. Fanboys and fangirls are into community involvement. Like, they often engage actively in communities centered around their interest or or their favorite actors, actresses, groups, love teams, merchandise, no? And there's this online forums, fan clubs, social media groups na nag-join talaga tayo para we can also stay updated. We can share the things that we like about our fandom. Let's say you're walking on the street and then you accidentally bumped into a BTS member that you really like, and then you want to share it to this particular forum, to this particular group, where you know they can relate and they can be happy for you. So make community involvement. Now, aside from that, fanboys and fangirls tend to value merchandise and memorabilia. Like, they collect. Speaking of, they collect merchandise, participate in events like toy conventions, K-pop conventions, P-pop conventions, and they display their fandom in creative ways. Like this. Like the things you see in my back, there's arrangements. There's specific arrangements of, let's say, these are my DVDs and Blu-rays. These are my memories. I have my light stick there. There's this like Funko Pop things. You have that certain arrangement. You display them in your room. Like their solo albums or the things that we wear. The things that are in our bed. Like these plushies. Or even headbands like this. So people, fangirls, fanboys, tend to collect merch and memorabilia. Let's say they attended a concert. They would want to get those, confettis. So that it would serve as a reminder that they have attended that particular concert. So they would want to keep everything. So merchandise and memorabilia are one of the things that fanboys, fangirls, in particular would like or would really have. No, even sa basketball fans, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but they they collect yung what they call the Zuru balls, like right now, no, wherein you have to collect, or you will be collecting different basketball players. So may mga ganon, or F1 racers, they would want to collect merch from those F1 racers or F1 races, diba? That they would even fly to another country just to buy those particular merch. Now, aside from that, K-pop, or not K-pop, but fanboys and fangirls, they have this obsessive knowledge, extensive knowledge about their interest, no? From minor trivia to deep niche aspects. Ay, favorite ni ganito, favorite color nung idol ko yung ganito. Favorite food ng idol ko yung ganito. Meron nga siyang 5 dogs eh. That not everyone would know if you are not part of that fandom, or if you are not a fanboy or a fangirl. So, there's this research na gagawin mo for you to get to know your idols, your favorite groups, your favorite basketball player, your favorite F1 race driver. No, you have that sense in you when you are a fanboy or a fangirl that you would really research about them, about the things that you like. That when people who are not, let's say, part of that fandom or not a fan of that fandom ask you a random question about those things, may masasagot ka at hahaba yung sagot mo. Because that is how passionate fanboys and fangirls are when it comes to their favorite subjects. Now, though the terms are generally used as playful, they can also sometimes have a negative connotation if used to describe someone as being overly obsessive or irrational, merong irrational devotion towards their favorite subject. So, yun yung isa sa mga dahilan bakit may mga tao na they don't want other people to find out that they are fanboys or fangirls. Kasi may negative connotation talaga siya. Lalo na for people who are not that particular, or who are not who are not into like fandoms or collecting merch or just being in the fanboy fangirl era in general. So, yun yung characteristics ng mga fanboys and fangirls. Now, let me share with you how my fangirling journey started throughout these years. Actually, hindi naman siya like ngayon lang, no? Way back pa, ever since, I think, I became high school, nung nauuso na talaga yung K-pop dito sa Pilipinas, no? Doon na nag-umpisa yon. I've liked 21, Wonder Girls, Super Junior, Big Bang, yung mga ganun na group during that time, no? I can clearly remember that I danced all the time to the song of 21, which is yung 21. Like, 21. Like, I can still remember dancing to that. And even yung Wonder Girls, no? I want nobody but you. I'm sure you guys can remember that, especially those who are into K-pop during that time. And that's, I think, during my high school days. Kaya lang, nung time kasi na yon, since high school days pa lang siya, I can't even afford to attend concerts to buy official merch. Kasi it's just a waste of money. And during that time, I'm still studying. So, allowance ko sa school is just like 20 pesos per day, 50 pesos per day kasi may baon naman ako. So, hindi ako masyadong naging part of fanboy, fangirl era during that time. And then, it suddenly stopped kasi ang focus talaga is studies, no? Going to work or going to school rather. So, mag-aral lang talaga. Although I liked them during that time, pero hindi pa ako nagko-collect ng mga merch nun. And then I can clearly remember me fangirling over P-pop groups. So those are Philippine pop groups, no? Parang counterpart or equivalent sila ng K-pop. Now, during that time, I think I'm still also in high school. Yata nun. Nauso yung P-pop group na Accelerate. To the point that I followed them on Facebook. No, I added them on Facebook kasi wala pa namang follow button noon, no? So, you have to add them. Tapos, you follow them on Twitter para makapag-interact ka sa kanila. And again, I'm still just in high school again during that time, no? I can still, or I think I am still friends with a few of them on Facebook. Like si Caleb, and even yung mom ni Caleb, I think friends pa rin kami sa Facebook during that time. Uma-attend ako ng mga mall, mall shows nila just to see them, even if malayo ako, or hindi nila ako nakikita, hindi naman nila ako kilala, no? Umabot ako dun sa point na yon sa P-pop. But it also suddenly stopped. Kasi nga, priorities, like going to school. I'm transitioning to college during that time. So, mas magiging busy, mas magiging, meron na akong sariling focus talaga. So, nag-stop siya. Although, during that time, I'm also still fan of K-dramas. Pero may mga classmates ako, may mga batchmates ako, and best friends na they're still into K-pop, no? Fandom during that time. And if I'm not mistaken, BTS is one of the groups that, as you can see, I follow right now. They're my ultimate. During that time, sikat na talaga sila. They're coming here in the Philippines, doing their concerts, but I don't have any idea kung sino sila. Kumbaga, hindi ako fan ng kahit ano nun. Maybe I listen to My Chemical Romance, I listen to Red Jumpsuit Apparatus during that time, or other groups that time, pero hindi ko masasabing sarili ko na fangirl ako. Casual listener, maybe. Not until Katniel happened. So, Catherine Bernardo and Daniel Padilla, which I really obsessed over. I can still remember going to SM Manila for Daniel's album launch. And I had a CD. I bought a CD that time to have Daniel signed it. Di ko sure kung nasa na yung CD na yon, but yeah, merong signature ni Daniel Padilla yung CD na yon that time. So, umabot ako dun sa pagpunta ulit sa mga mall shows or sa mga album signings. I was really not a fan of anything in particular, like super obsessed with something or passionate. I will use the term passionate with something during that time. So, casual listener lang ako ng mga music. Hindi ako mahilig sa books. I read books, pero there's no particular author that I would want to read. Now, nauso yung Wattpad. Nung time na yon, high school, college days. And then there's this one particular story na sobrang nauso, which is She's Dating the Gangster. So, nung time na yon, hindi pa uso yung mga smartphones na you can just download the PDF and read it through your phone. So you have to exchange like long messages or particular text file na pwede namin gamitin para mabasa namin yung mga chapters na yon. So yon, sobrang naging fangirl ako nun. And then nagkaroon ng moment that book, that particular story from Wattpad ni SG Wannabe ay ginawang hard copy. So, printed copy siya. I really grabbed onto that copy. Nagkaroon yon ng book signing near me. And during that time, I should be packing for my trip to Baguio. But what I did is I brought my cousin with me. Let's go to Festival Mall first. I need to buy that book. And I need the seller, or the author rather, to sign that book for me. I really went to Festival Mall, National Bookstore that time for that book signing. And yes, I got my book signed by the writer or the author of She's Dating the Gangster. So, sobrang na-obsess ako nung time na yon in reading Wattpads na napupuyat talaga ako. Honestly speaking, yun yung parang naging fan ako or naging part ako ng fandom na yon. So, si Sexy Love at saka si Love Babe. Ayan. So, yun yung siguro masasabi kong part of me being a fangirl. Now, it also stopped hindi ko alam, I really lose interest on things, lalo na kung meron akong mas dapat i-prioritize. Now, I still have friends who are fans of Super Junior, BTS, FT Island, EXO, 17, if I'm not mistaken, during that time. Pero, I really am not. Kumbaga parang, I find them weird during that time. Now, the pandemic happened. Actually, before pandemic, so mas sumisikat na yung name ng BTS. Maririnig ko na siya, my cousins are fans, my friends are fans of BTS, and I really see them as, boys full of makeup. Na hindi rin ako nakikinig nung mga music nila nung time na yon. Tapos nauso, kung di ako nagkakamali, nauso yung McDonald's na ang paper bag is, and the things that, let's say, yung cup, yung lagayan ng nuggets and all, BTS. So, they had a collab, McDonald's x BTS. Tapos, nababasa ko sa social media that these fanboys, fangirls, nagagalit sila sa Grab driver kasi nalukot yung paper bag, nabasa yung paper bag, and they are really furious. They're voicing out their anger dun sa social media. Parang, what the hell? Those are just paper bags. Those people, Grab drivers, Grab riders, are just doing their job. As in, I used to hate, like, yung fandom na yon. Like, cringy siya for me. Hindi ko inimagine that in a few years, I would also be collecting their merch. Now, how did my BTS ARMY fandom started? But bago yon, on our comment section, kung saan nyo man to pinapanood, whether sa TikTok or sa YouTube, kindly comment, sa comment section natin, ano yung nagpa-start sa inyo in joining a particular fandom? Or ano yung mga bagay na masasabi ninyo na you are a fan of? And maybe we can talk about that in the next few episodes. Now, we are nearing the end of our podcast, pero I want to share with you lang, na actually nakwento ko na rin naman sa mga friends ko to. I want to share with you lang paano nga ba nag-umpisa yung journey ko as a BTS ARMY fangirl. So, nagkaroon ng pandemic, 2019, so that's COVID-19, and we had series of lockdowns that we really can't go out. And as an extrovert, yung pandemic really took a toll on me. Hindi ako pwedeng walang ginagawa, hindi ako pwedeng walang kinakausap, hindi ako pwedeng hindi nakakalabas. So, I tried everything na nauso nung time na yon. From diamond painting, to number painting, to making dalgona coffee, but none of them worked. Like, na-bore lang ako. Like, I don't want it. What else should I do? Now, nung mga panahon na nag-ease out na yung pandemic, yung pwede ka nang lumabas, but you have to, like, wear mask or wear yung face shield before you go out or when you're going to the province. Ang hirap pa nung biyahe. I had an opportunity to go to Batangas, which is my province. Now, sa Batangas, I have my cousins there. I have my nieces and nephews there. So, I think we went there around October 30 for the All Souls Day and All Saints Day holidays. So, umuwi ako ng Batangas nung time na yon. Kaya lang, hindi pa kami pwedeng mag-visit sa cemetery during that time kasi it's by schedule or you have to really sign up, I think, para makapasok ka in a particular cemetery. So, we just visited my lolo and lola sa bahay nila. And then yung cousins ko. Now, during that time, I was really irritated about my cousins because they have that paper bag from McDonald's of BTS. I was like, you guys are crazy. Sabi ko sa kanila, parang kayong mga baliw. Ano ba yung mga BTS na yan? Ba't nyo ba kinikip yung mga paper bag na yan? Imamantika. Something like that. Now, we went to one of my nephews and niece's house. So, nagpunta kami doon to visit them. And then, when we visited them, one of my cousins, who's also an ARMY, sabi niya, tignan mo yung mga pamangkin natin. They are dancing to Permission to Dance by BTS. Sabi ko, ano ba kasi yung BTS na yan? So what they did is they played the music video of Permission to Dance sa TV para pasayawin yung mga pamangkin ko, my nephews and nieces. So I was just there sitting. And when the music video started, there's this one member na yung hairstyle niya ay para siyang emo. Nasabi ko, ano ba naman yan? Bakit emo yung hairstyle niya? Pero that member already caught my attention. So parang siya na yung, pwede. Tapos, while I was listening to the song, nakikita ko yung mga pamangkin kong sumasayaw, nakikita ko na yung mga members. Sabi ko, pwede naman pala. They don't look like kids. I mean, the boys, no? The BTS members, they don't look like gay. They don't look like the kids. Ganyan. Sabi ko nga, pwede, sige, maganda yung song. It's English, Permission to Dance. Sabi ko, sige nga, pwede kong pakinggan yan. Now, we went back home. And then my cousin, sabi niya, meron silang tinatawag na Weavers Live. So, nagla-live sila doon para makausap nila yung mga fans nila. Sabi ko, talaga? As in, may ganun sila. So, what my cousin did is ni-replay niya sa TV yung isang live ni Jungkook, which is the emo member doon sa music video ng Permission to Dance. And then, tandang-tanda ko that Weavers Live is when he was wearing the green see-through shirt and pants, pajamas. He's barefaced that time. He looks so good. He's singing live. He's talking to his fans. And I was like, oh my God, this guy is pogi. And maganda yung boses niya. So my cousins are now, why don't you download Weavers? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I was like, okay, when I go home, I'll try to listen to them. And so I did. And I didn't know that that is the start of me being in the BTS rabbit hole. And look at me now. I'm wearing their shirt or their items, their merch. I'm collecting their plushies. I'm collecting like DVDs, albums, fan-made merch, plushies and all. And it has been so good. Like, I know that there are like notions that a particular fandom is toxic or the fans are toxic, no? But it depends kasi on how you view things. It depends on how you put yourself into that particular fandom. Hindi mawawala yung toxic in any fandom. But you would just have to really choose and pick, no, which side of the fandom would you belong. The toxic one or the good ones. Now, in the next episode, I will be talking about what I really felt when I started being a fandom. Ano yung mga narinig ko from people. Let's say some of them are criticizing me, some of them are making fun of me, or some of them really are encouraging me to be part of the fandom. So, pag-uusapan natin siya in the next episode of Cheese in Your Bias List. And then we're also gonna talk about ano ba yung pros and cons of being a fangirl. And I guess we can still also talk about your comments on how you guys become fanboys and fangirls of your particular subjects or topics. Now, my journey as a fangirl has been, up and down. But ever since I started stanning K-pop, stanning BTS, it has been so good. Like, I have met a lot of new people, and these people have really encouraged me to become a good fangirl. To end this episode, I would like to thank you all for reaching episode 2, full episode of K-pop Miles and Life with Cheese. If you enjoy this type of episode or this episode in particular and you want more, hit that follow button, share the love, and let's keep the conversation going. Marami-rami pa tayong pag-uusapan, no? We can invite a few more guests or a few guests kapag mas tumagal yung ating episodes. Now, don't forget to follow me on social media. You can find me on TikTok at CHSLYBNW_. And if you're on Instagram, hit me up at CHSLYBNW_ for updates, episode sneak peeks, and random life musings. Don't forget to say cheese!